Boys and girls, we're back again for another edition of the Truman Lake Fishing Intel podcast. I got a great group of guys with me tonight to shoot our episode. Starting on my left, Hunter Bowling, Jared Fosnow, Sean Bowling, and Jason Smith. We're going to be talking crappie, catfish, bass, some walleye. We've got some walleye updates. For those that always ask, we don't get that update very much, but a lot of these guys have been chasing them around and doing fairly well. So stay tuned for the full episode. Later on, we're going to get into that. A couple of just quick little tidbits before we get into the fishing. Just wanted to say a big thank you. If you guys haven't been, Holly's Kitchen is a really awesome restaurant here in Clinton. She helps us out, provides dinner for us every time we get together with our podcast. And she's located just south of Clinton, right there at the Meadow Lake Country Club. There's no dress code. A lot of people commonly mistake that because it's at the golf course. Maybe there's no, just go as you are. Great food made from scratch. She's got the grab and go meals. So if you're heading to the lake, she's got take and bake meals as well. So you throw them in the oven. Just a lot of really great options. She's got a great crew there. They take care of you. If you are a premium member of Truman Lake Fishing Intel, you get a little deal when you go in there and eat at Holly's Kitchen. So be sure to check her out. Great food. We really appreciate her. Anglers Port Marine, if you are looking for Phoenix, Low, Icon boats, if you're looking for great service, Anglers Port Marine is the place to go. They're a highly rated service department. They really, I mean, truly, it's cliche, but they really treat you like family, and you will be ready when you go buy your new boat there. You'll be ready to leave the lot and head straight to the lake, ready to roll. Anglers Port Marine. They do have a really cool hummingbird seminar coming up here soon, so get online, get on their website, on their Facebook page, and get signed up for that. If you're interested in that, it's free. And they do a lot of that kind of stuff throughout the year to try to just produce as much educational information for their customers and just the angler community. So be sure to check that out. Anglers Port Marine, located on 7 Highway between Clinton and Warsaw, Missouri. If you are new to the Truman Lake Fishing Intel podcast and Truman Lake Fishing Intel, what we are essentially a media company, essentially, for Truman Lake. We cover all the different species. We do fishing reports. We do these podcasts, lots of other videos, lots of articles. Anything related to Truman Lake, we've got it. It's a subscription-based website. There's free membership, and there's the premium version as well. And so if you want to get in there and you want to know what's going on, where you should go to catch fish, go sign up for a premium membership at TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com. You will have all the latest and greatest information from these guys and a whole bunch more that are out on the water every single day, making their living, guiding for crappie, catfish, bass, hybrids, white bass, walleye, you name it. And they know what's going on. You got live lake updates, all kinds of stuff. So be sure to check that out, TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com. And then the last thing I wanted to say, too, so a lot of you guys who watch this know that I do real estate full-time in addition to this website, and I know a lot of our members out there are be very interested in this. I've got a 10.1 acre chunk listed down off the Tebow arm right now that backs up to core ground, and it's a pretty sneaky little spot. So if that's something you guys have been interested in, looking at, having your own little place at the lake, it's at the end of a dead-end road, very private. It's going to be a sneaky good little deer hunting spot for sure. So get a hold of me if that's something that is of interest to you. With that, I want to get into some of the fishing. Whether you're a first-time boat owner or a seasoned professional, Anglers Port Marine has an option for you. Conveniently located between Clinton and Warsaw on 7 Highway, stop on in to view top industry boat brands including Phoenix and Low Boats. With their award-winning sales and service, Anglers Port Marine has you covered. 660-438-4600 or learn more at anglersportmarine.com. Welcome to Holly's Kitchen in Clinton, Missouri, where every meal tastes like home because everything here is made from scratch. Join us for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and enjoy a relaxed, come-as-you-are atmosphere. Holly's friendly staff treats you like family from the moment you walk in, whether you're dining in, grabbing carryout, or ordering delivery. Need something easy for later? Pick up one of Holly's take and bake meals, homemade dishes you can pop straight into the oven. Or check out Holly's Grab and Go options, perfect for busy days or when you're headed out for a day on Truman Lake. You'll find Holly's Kitchen at Meadow Lake Country Club, but there's absolutely no dress code, just great food and genuine hospitality. And with Holly's diverse menu full of delicious favorites, you'll keep coming back for more. Holly's Kitchen, made from scratch, made with love, and always served with a smile. Come on in today. Truman Lake Fishing Intel Premium members can receive a special discount when they show their membership to staff when they order. It's been pretty stinking hot. The lake's been coming down. It's been falling. We're approaching normal. That actually presents some challenges. But let's start talking about. I want to get into the crappie fishing first, Hunter. I want to start with you, man. It's been a couple months since you were with us on the show. What can you tell me? What have you been doing? I know you had a big tournament this past weekend.
Yep, we fished the Truman Lake Tournament Series. I think we had 19 boats in it. And it's probably the toughest tournament fishing I've ever seen on the lake. We covered from Otter Creek all the way to above Sparrowfoot, and we fished channel swings, channel ledges, in the channels, flats, covered everything. At every single place we've seen big crappie. Mm-hmm. Every place. I've never seen so many big crappie in my life, but none of them would bite. Mm. And they followed up and chased it, and I tried everything that my dad's taught me that I could think of. I was about to put freaking fruit snacks on it. But we tried everything we could. We just couldn't get them to bite. And every now and then, you know, it'd be raining. If they came up and followed that bait up, you might as well just go to the next one. Because you sit them jack with them forever, they weren't going to bite.
Huh.
So finally, to catch the fish at the end of the day, we got about 6 to 10 foot of water. And it's by G3 Fence Row. A lot of people know that. In a ditch, and we just got some of the fish to bite.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the fish right now just ate up so fast they're not that hungry. It seems like.
What do you mean they ate up? There's a lot of food for them?
And like the last tournaments, 2 months ago, a month ago, a lot of the fish were skinny and they looked like they've never eaten before. Mm. It's the worst quality fish I've ever seen up here. Now they're getting a belly on, they're looking good. Mm. So I'm thinking they ate real fast, and you know they're interested, but they're not that.
Okay.
And we had the mayfly hatch too. I'm sure they filled up on them. So.
Well, yeah, I remember your dad mentioning something about that here in the last week.
I even tried that. I was going to trees and picking mayflies off the tree.
Well, you know, something very interesting. I was fishing the strip pit in the last week, throwing a popper, and I had a crappie come up and smoke it like a bass. And I have to imagine mayfly related.
The crappie do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was cutting minnows in half, putting them on backwards. I tried everything I could. Mm-hmm. And I think I tried every jig in the boat.
Wow.
So it just wouldn't bite that day. We just had to cover a lot of water. There was fish everywhere. And like I said, I always get worried about big crappie on the upper Grand. It worries me. Dad has a different opinion than I do. But that day we actually saw them.
Yeah.
So they're still there. I don't think there's as many, but we see them.
Yeah. So you had 19 boats. What ended up winning it?
Oh, I think, I gotta remember. I think high 760 something.
Okay.
Yep, and it was Gorms.
Okay.
Gorms.
Yeah, you know what? I remember seeing that.
Yep, Valentine took second, and Mike, and then third place was Solon Trout. So
okay.
All pretty good weights. I think third place was like 640 on 5 fish, so pretty good weights.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Every single person said they seen the big crowd. They're there. Just gotta give them the bite.
Was everybody over in the Grand, or did anybody get adventurous?
The top 3 I know were on the Grand. We kicked ourselves in the butt for not going to the Osage because they've been biting a lot better over there for us. We just wanted to stick to the Grand because we were leading the points, so we didn't want to risk anything. So.
739.
739.
Was first place, second place 686, third place 632.
So, pretty good turnout.
Big fish was 172.
I believe they had a 160 as well, didn't they?
Yeah. They got one of them to buy. But for all you guys out there, if you want to fish a tournament, come fish the Truman Lake Tournament Series. I always make the people that win the tournament talk out loud how they did it, and it's a fun thing. You're not going to go out there and get smoked by everybody. You're going to have a good time and learn a lot. So, and we hand out prizes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the weights here. The bulk of the field was, most of them were over 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I had a follow-up question. Was it tough for everybody?
Yeah, everyone you talked to said they couldn't get the big ones by at all. And there was another term that day, the Eastern Crappie Trail, what it is. And I don't know what that weight took.
I didn't ever see it either.
Yeah. But there was a lot of boats out there. They almost looked like crappie nets.
Yeah.
There's boats everywhere.
You said, but now I'm not remembering. Minnows or jigs was better?
Oh man, I wouldn't really say there was a top thing that worked. I went from 4-inch bait all the way down to the smallest thing I could find, and it didn't. There's no rhyme or reason to anything.
Yep.
But we use a big minnow, small minnow. Just find as many fish, put your bait in front of it, and if it doesn't bite, move to the next.
So on some of the bigger fish that you may have played with a little bit, are you like, you drop on them, they don't quite eat, but they're still sitting there? Are you making a bait change like right then and there?
I'll for sure always drop a jig and a minnow, and then at least one time, or just a minnow on a hook. And I'd even snake it on the hook to where you couldn't even see the hook. It didn't make a difference. And
Interesting.
they'd fall all the way up to the top of the water and then shoot. No.
Yeah.
Probably something I was doing wrong. I'd like to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. There's got to be a way to make every fish pop. Got to.
What's your dad think?
He doesn't think so. But there's got to be a way. There's got to be something that catches their eye.
Yeah.
Cast net.
Yeah. Big old hook.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You might be right. It might just not be in an eating kind of mood.
How they follow it. There's got to be some reason that I get a reaction bite or something.
No, I'm getting a lot of the same, even on the lower end, that, it's, you find 4 or 5 really good ones, and you can drop a minnow right in the middle of them, and one will eat, and then the rest of them will stay, and they'll all 4 follow it up, and you won't get one of them to bite. And then every once in a while, I had one client today, he's like, here, you try. So I cast on it, chased it up, I dropped it to the bottom, that fish was followed all the way back down. 3 times of that, I finally got that fish to bite. What I do different? Nothing. I'm just dropping it, bringing it back up, dropping it, bringing it back up, and it finally decided to eat it. Why?
No.
And why can you hold a minnow dead still and a crappie not eat?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it makes no sense to me, right? I mean, that's what they're eating every day. My theory on this time of year is they're heavily, where I'm fishing, it is just waves of shad. So you'll be on a tree, and all of a sudden, whoosh, shad's through and the fish are gone.
Yeah.
Or there's 3 left out of the 20 that were there. And they're eating, I mean, they're this big right now. Everything they're eating is this big. So they're just puking it up, and when we're cleaning them, they're just stuffed full of little bitty shad.
That's what I noticed up there. I finally seen some shad.
Yeah.
The tournaments before, we weren't seeing shad at all.
Yeah, a lot more shad on the banks, and then the shallows where we're fishing for the crappie right now. We're fishing the same. Down low, I'm still in that 5 to 12, 5 to 15 foot range. Little secondary coves and stuff like that.
Brush piles?
Brush, trees. I mean, I really like to fish on the standing trees right now because it's like 4 really nice ones and a little pile of 9 inches below them. And you can pick off them 4. If you can pick them off one at a time, you get 4 really nice 11, 12-inch fish in the boat. But we caught a 15-incher underneath a lay-down tree. You could just see him hanging out underneath the tree and dropped right offside of him. He hammered it. The biggest one I caught was in 4 foot of water in some little bucket structure somebody had made. And I just seen a big wad in it, and I dropped on it, and it smashed my walleye rig, actually. It smashed a bucktail with a worm on it. And that thing was 15, 16 inches.
Wow.
It was definitely the biggest one we caught today.
Have you been here? Has there been any more jumbos caught down there on that end?
I haven't heard any, nothing over 2 pounds.
Yeah. For those that may not have seen our last episode or been on the website, we covered a story of a guy who caught a 396 crappie on the Tebow Arm here in the last month and a half, 2 months. And that's a absolute giant anywhere, let alone on Truman and in the Tebow Arm, of all places. But by the way, why doesn't you and I were talking about it. Someone needs to go fish the Tebow Arm.
One of our guys that fishes the tournament trail, he fishes over there, and he always has a big crappie.
No.
I think he's won 2 of the 4 or 5 tournaments we've had. Big crappie.
Big crowd, but nothing to go with it.
Nothing.
But
Nothing to go with it.
It's always
so it's like, go find the big one, and I wonder what time of day he's usually catching that big one.
I don't know.
If it takes him all day, and because if you can get it found early and then get up to the Grand,
Right.
that's the ticket.
For sure. And they're always a big hybrid every time.
Yeah.
There's some really solid fish over there. It's just, man, the best time for me there's winter.
Yeah.
It seems like you catch a bunch of really nice fish over there in the winter, but the rest of the year is kind of a lot of smalls to go through.
Yeah. Sean, you've been crappie fishing, guiding most days, right?
Yep, just about every day.
You've been on the Mid Grand. What Hunter was talking about how tough it's been. You're seeing kind of the same thing, or what?
The exact same thing. The last week has been tough from G14 up to basically watermelon. Today was the best bite I've seen, but down the lake, I went to pitching a minnow on a 16-ounce hair jig, or 16-ounce lead head on ultralight, casting out 20 feet to wads of fish to catch them. And the problem is you need 2 pounds of minnows because you can catch 8, 9 little ones, and you can catch a really nice 11-inch fish.
Yeah.
And that's just not sustainable on a trip. But all the flats and ditches from G14 up to watermelon are loaded with crappie from 5 to 15 foot of water. What I figured out today was we took a baby shad style bait, the Palmer's baby shad, and gold and orange, put a fireball on it. If it didn't have that Hotskis fireball on it, they wouldn't eat.
What do you
Fireball, is that like a niblet?
It's like a niblet.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
garlic's in it, and it's a little ball. And
Is it the yellow neon
I did
color
the
or
green neon.
green neon? Okay.
Yep. You drop it just a little bit above them, and if that fish turned up and just sat there and you shook it, he would eat 100% of the time. But if he started nosing up to it, take off.
Okay, hold on. Repeat that. So if he would,
If he would turn up and just sit still, and you shook it, he would hit it.
okay,
But if he turned up, started going straight up to it slowly, like they do the minnow or anything else,
He would bump it and swim
yeah, they
huh?
didn't want anything to do with it. But
Last week I was playing with niblets a lot because I was struggling to even get a bite, and I was out by myself just playing around one day, and I got the niblets out, and it really enticed a bite. I mean, my hookup was a whole lot. They would, before the niblet, you would feel them, but they would never commit. You weren't catching the fish. They were nipping it or bumping it. Once you got the niblet on, it seemed like they would at least commit to the bait.
Did you throw
this
niblets?
thing, I hate niblets.
I haven't used niblets in
I
years.
hate niblets.
My partner doesn't like dots in his boat.
Yeah.
That's right. I got little green dots all over my bed.
my guy knocked the whole tub over today.
Oh,
It was
man.
all over the floor.
Oh,
and they're
no.
impossible to pick up. You
They
take
are, yeah.
flyers to pick them up just about.
You know what hit them the worst was Darren. I fished with him. I used to get them everywhere. In his boat.
I use those little, the little lids they got.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
I don't do the whole hook thing, but I can shake 2 or 3 into that
Yeah.
and get them in my hand instead of having the whole container sitting open.
Yeah.
And really, I like to throw about 10 on my deck, right up on the front, because I want them dry.
Yeah.
They're too wet out of the container and they fall off a little. So if you
Oh,
let them
because
sit out and dry in the sun just
They'll
a little,
stick on the hook
they'll stick
better.
on your hook better. Yep, they
Interesting.
won't fall apart when you poke it.
I think I've been a handful of times at most I've ever used those things. Yeah, they're a pain.
They're a pain.
They are.
But I have multiple times been struggling and been able to catch fish more effectively just by adding a niblet when I'm jigging them.
Yeah.
And now if I got minnows in the boat, I ain't playing with I already got
Yeah.
messy minnows. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And if it's minnow season, it's minnow season.
That was the thing today. We had minnows. I've been using them all week and cut the tail off them, make them bleed, cut their stomach, get some of that sent out, try cook them the tail, the dorsal fin, everything, and just cannot get a consistent bite. And as soon as we went to that jig with the fireball, it was lights out for some reason.
There's not more aggravating than hooking them in the tail.
Oh yeah, and half the time they just flip off.
Yeah.
And then if they're swimming up around your weight and
Well,
everything,
you
like
gotta
crappies going in circles.
I do mine a little unique. So I use the little wire hook keeper for my jigs, and I run it down the throat, out the belly, and I take that hook keeper and I stick it in their head, and it's on like a jig bot,
Right.
and that's how I'm dropping them. They were smoking it today, and I've been running a double, so I got a jig up high and a minnow down low, and I would say a third of the fish today passed the minnow and went to the jig. We had a few doubles today. We had a double with an 11 and a 10 incher.
Oh, cool.
He was ecstatic. That's pretty cool.
You know, one of the things you mentioned earlier was that big fish ate your walleye ready.
Yeah.
I wonder if just dropping a worm down there. Just
Yeah,
catch them at the marina all
I
the
mean,
time.
that's a bucktail too. It was a bucktail this big with a worm on it. And it smashed it.
Yeah.
3/8 head even.
Nice
Using a
worms.
pretty big bucktail.
I would. They're more messy.
Yeah, they suck. I hate worms.
But like you said with those big fish, we're seeing a ton of them. Seen them all week. And today we got one to bite finally. It was right at 2 pounds, a hybrid. The lady's biggest fish she's caught in her lifetime
That's
as far as a crappie goes. And it was 15 and 1/8 inches.
Wow, that's a big one.
Really,
It's a big one, yep.
That's something that's weird this year. There's more hybrids caught than I've ever seen.
A lot of big hybrids this year,
It's
yeah.
unreal.
Well, early on, down the Mid Grand, that G14 to G10, there was one creek that we had a 150 every day for like 7 days straight.
Yeah.
Hybrid.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either, because it's not like a black crappie and a white crappie actively seek out to hybridize. It's just one of them's up there doing it in the nest.
I think they just go hit it.
Yeah.
Eggs available. It's a crappie. We're gonna
Yeah.
fertilize it.
Yeah.
And,
Huh.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. And what is really cool about it, for those that have watched some of our stuff in the past, or maybe you haven't, or maybe you just haven't seen this, we've done a video with Truman Lake fisheries biologist Chris Brook, where he showed us how you age a crappie with the otolith. It's this little rock-like thing that's in their head. And anyway, he was showing me the data of these hybrid crappie that were 2 and 3 years old and just absolutely huge as compared to like a 4 to 6 year old white crappie and black crappie, which were not even close to as big. So they get really big and they get big fast. So that was fascinating to me, for sure. Hunter, you said you did a no live scope trip.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, some good friends of ours did kind of an auction deal for charity, and they offered to give like a spider rigging guide trip. So I made sure to buy it so I could take my woman and her mother, and I wanted to pull my hair out. No, it was a good time. Spider rigging, back how we used to do it. No live scope. They don't have one on their boat. We started at G14 and fished around the tree rows out there, which they don't even really know where a lot of the tree rows are at. You know, They just kind of fished around. I wanted to say, let's go in there. I stayed quiet the whole time.
Yeah.
We ate up with a nice mess of fish, but probably the best we did was around the bridge pillars.
Mm-hmm.
Just the ones that are kind of closest to the riprap seemed to work out the best. Up current side, actually. I don't know if they're on any water. I couldn't tell.
Let me ask you this: shade side.
It'd be the shade side.
So
Yeah.
shade side usually in the summer is always
Yeah.
hot. So
When I fished the bridge pillars a year or two ago, it was those first 2 or 3 bridge pillars.
always, yeah. It
Closest.
seems like they're always the best, and both. It can be both ends.
Yep. Yeah.
The 83 bridge is one of my favorites, and for years, the last couple of years, it just hasn't been there.
Yeah.
But for 4 years straight, I would go there and wipe them out, and it was the first 4. You'd catch maybe a couple in the middle, and then
Yeah.
the last 4.
Yeah.
And it was just banging every bounce.
Were they nosed up on the bridge pillar, just to spin it out into the shade off of it, or what was the
We
deal?
were flipping pretty close to it. We pulled the spider rigs up, then they were just long pulling around. Seemed like I would pitch out and I let the pendulum keep it moving past.
Yeah.
Clear water,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
typical. Which the girls, they caught quite a few too doing it. I would have liked to look at them with the live scope swimming over there,
Yeah.
but no, it was a very good time. It was nice to get back to the roots. You know,
Yeah.
spider rigging, it's one of the funnest things you'll ever do with family and friends.
Yeah.
You know, sit back and have fun.
Yeah. That's cool. Speaking of, you said it's pretty clear over there. What, 1.5 feet, 2 feet?
So we were at the Palmy Bridge on that one, and it's, I would say flooded then. It's
Okay.
pretty clear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's clear over
What,
there. I was
6
there today.
Yeah.
6 to 8 inches in the upper end.
It's clear up there.
Okay.
It's really clear.
Well, that's
That's-
Osage is probably Hogel's. I mean, and it's still pretty clear, but
Yeah.
the Osage area is probably the murkiest I've seen, and I wouldn't even call it murky.
Right.
I mean, but I fished Berry Bend the other day, and I mean, it's out of the whole lake, it's the dirtiest, but it's
Yeah.
still a foot.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's cleaned up quite a bit. That usually improves the trolling bite.
there is a small trolling bite. You know, I've been watching reports. I got people that call me all the time and tell me how they've done, and you can go catch. You know, I caught 3 really nice crappie today trolling. We were trolling some points, trying for some walleye trolling, and we caught 3 really nice 11+ inch crappie. But I caught 3 in a half a mile.
Yeah.
So you can go out and catch a limit or 2 if you put all day into it.
Yeah.
But you know, last year we were catching 150 by 10
Yeah.
and most keepers. And this year I haven't taken a trolling trip in the last month because it just never happened. Thermocline is at 20 foot. It is pushing
So it's
the fish up,
finally.
but the fish are glued
Yeah.
to structure.
Yeah.
So you can find them moving in between, and then you can go catch some, but it's not what people want for the trolling trips,
Right.
unless you don't know how to fish the trips. So you can go out and fish them, and if somebody's going to do that, stay close to the banks. 20 foot or less, tops of trees in the deep, like off the cliffs and stuff.